Hi, this is Maya Schur model for my 8th grade copyright lesson by Chelsea Scales. Analyze learners. General characteristics of this class. This lesson is for a basic 8th grade class consisting of 12 boys and 9 girls. They come from primarily moderate income socioeconomic families. There is a mix of ethnicities in the class. They are well behaved, and some show a lack of interest in learning about copyright. Entry competencies. The students are able to use the internet, create and save documents, and respond orally or in writing. They will take a short entry pretest to determine their familiarity with copyright laws. Learning differences and needs. The majority of the students in this class learn best through verbal or visual means, so the lesson will be in the form of a slideshow, as well as an oral presentation. They love using technology, so that will be incorporated as well. State the standards and objectives. Standards, digital citizenship, ethics, and laws. This is 8.9. The student recognizes and practices responsible, legal, and ethical behavior while using digital tools and resources. The student is expected to create citations and cite sources, practical technology concepts, skills, and tools. The student leverages technology systems, concepts, and operations to produce digital artifacts. The student is expected to integrate use of appropriate technology, terminology, in scholarly inquiry and dialogue, such as classroom discussion and written samples. The learning objectives for this lesson. The 8th grade student will be able to identify whether a resource can be used under fair use or if it is copyrighted with at least 70% accuracy. The 8th grade student will use technology to demonstrate their understanding of copyright laws by creating a document or a video that includes at least 5 pieces of information learned, as well as discussing the why copyright is important. Strategies and resources. I will use a mix of teacher and student-centered strategies. Teacher-centered. I will teach through the slides presentation and ask questions. For student-centered, they will have table discussions about questions posed to the class. We will play a this or that game to determine if resources are fair use or copyrighted. It is basically a resource sort. And then resources we will use are Google Docs, Google Slides, and a teacher-produced resource sort game using the ClearTouch, and we will also have the option of using a video camera for the assessment piece. Utilize resources. Preview resources using Google Docs and Slides, how to use the video camera, and completing a sorting game via ClearTouch. Prepare resources. I will create a resource sort game. Preparing the environment. The lesson will take place in the library. I will arrange the tables so each table group can easily see the board, and I will check the ClearTouch to make sure it's working properly and check the sorting game. To prepare the learners, I will introduce the lesson and review the learning objectives, as well as the why this topic is important, and I will give a pretest. Provide the learning experience. I will give the presentation. We will discuss in detail how this relates to real life and why it is important. I will ask discussion questions. They will think, pair, share. Then we will play the resource sort game with table groups working together. Require learner participation. Student practice. This will be done through questioning, table group discussions, and whole class reflections on the questions. Also, the resource sorting game will provide practice. Feedback will come from other students with the discussion questions, as well as from myself during class discussion time and during the game sort. Evaluate and revise. Students will create either a Google Doc, a Google Slides presentation, or a video to demonstrate their understanding of copyright law. They'll get to choose which way they want to present it. They will include at least 5 pieces of specific information they learned and discuss why learning copyright law is important. I will assess this product using a rubric I created and gave to the students ahead of time. I will evaluate and revise strategies and resources, and this will be done based on a short rubric completed by the students to get learner feedback. And then for revision, I will revise based on the student feedback responses, the evaluation of the student products, and my overall perceptions of the lesson. I will revise as needed for the next time I teach this lesson. Okay, I'm going to pull up the rubric I created to assess their products. They will receive anywhere from a 1 to a 4 in each of these 5 areas. So content, the student included at least 5 specific things learned, all the way down to getting only 1 point if they only included 1 piece. Importance. This is for the importance of learning copyright law and how did they do, all the way from 4 points to 1 point. Then I will grade them on organization. Their product is very neat and organized. It's neat, somewhat neat, or not at all neat and organized. Then I will be looking at their grammar. Has 0 to 2 grammatical errors, 3 to 4 grammatical errors, or 5 to 6, and 7 or more. And then I will also evaluate their group teamwork. How well did they work as a team?